Hello, happy Sunday evening, everybody. Just kind of letting a few folks get in. But so we are actually live here in our Arc Adventure studio, not on Utopia of the Seas with Royal Caribbean. And we just want to welcome you tonight. We just want you to hear our side of the story of why we're not on the ship, as we've had a few questions of did you not give yourself enough time to travel? And what exactly happened. So Andy is going to go ahead and fill you in on exactly what has happened. So go
I
on,
will
Andy.
do so. I'll go through the story and then Andrea take over. We'll answer questions. Oh, first off though, can everyone hear the audio okay? Maybe give a thumbs up or quick little comment and you could hear me okay.
Yep. And welcome in, everybody. We do see there's a few of you in here, and hopefully we'll get a few more just so we don't have to repeat our
Thank you. Thank you.
misery over.
All right, so I'll just dive right in. So Thursday, day prior to cruise, we were to travel to Orlando. So we did make travel plans for the day before, not the day of. The original plan was it was a connecting flight, so St. Louis to Charlotte, and then Charlotte on to Orlando. Um, our St. Louis to Charlotte leg was supposed to be like in the 2 p.m. hour or 2:45, something like that. We were to arrive in Charlotte in the 6 p.m. hour and then catch our connecting flight on to Orlando in the 8 p.m. hour. Um, so we got to the airport, everything was fine. We boarded the plane nice and on time, and then we're sitting on the plane, and then the pilot comes on saying that there's a weather issue in Charlotte, so that flights currently are grounded. That was never never a
Yeah,
good
and
sign.
we didn't know what it meant by a grounding
Yeah, a ground
before.
stop. So ground stop may be a little phrase we never want to hear again, if possible. Um, but yeah, so we're on the plane, and they said there's a ground stop in Charlotte, and we sat actually on the plane. We sat for like an hour. It was like an hour plus or so. Um, Finally, the pilot said we're going to have to disembark everybody, and then hopefully you could get back on the plane if you choose to do so, or you could try to get a different flight or get a refund,
Yeah, and
whatever he said.
the reason we did have to disembark the plane is there was mechanical issues with the engines not allowing the AC to run without the plane
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
the
So
air.
so there were multiple problems. So they had to be plugged in to get any air, and it wasn't great. So then us get off the plane. So we waited in the terminal maybe another half hour, and then finally they said, you could go ahead and get back on the plane, and we had to rescan and get back in. Um, I want to say, all right, when we were getting ready to board, we got this fun little email. So let me show you this. So we got that. I'm about ready to board onto the plane, and I get a "You've been rebooked." This here, by the way, will turn out to be the thing that actually cost us the cruise. It was like, good lord, yeah, this was the bad one. It didn't register to me as something. I thought it would be something we'd have to accept or something we'd have to, agree to. Nothing like that. But I'll get back more to that later. So I get this email, couldn't do anything about it. We're boarding. So we boarded the plane, um, and then it was still delayed. It took quite a while before we finally got off the ground. I want to say, we were at least 3, 4 hours late into Charlotte. So we get into Charlotte, and as you saw from that email, it said we had been rebooked, and they chose. If you could see the date they chose for us to rebook our connecting flight the next day, Friday, 5 p.m., which of course the ship would have sailed by then. So that is not particularly helpful, would not have worked for us. So we land in Charlotte, and I want to say it's like maybe 9:30 p.m., 10 p.m., something like that. The connecting flight to Orlando was delayed 5-6 hours. So they bump us from the connecting flight, even though it's delayed, like thinking we can't make the connecting flight. So they rebooked us. So we go to the gate of the connecting flight. We're like showing them our boarding pass. We're like, how could they have bumped us for the flight? Is this true? And they looked it up. They're like, yep, your seats have been given up, and you're no longer on this flight. So we're like, is there a standby? There was already a full standby. The flight was totally full. So we were out of luck. So at this point, we headed, where did we go after the flight? We went to baggage claim because our idea was, okay, why don't we try to see if we could pull our bag from making it to Orlando on a different plane, but get the bag with us and then maybe rent a car, because we figured it's a 7.5 hour drive to Port Canaveral from Charlotte. So we were willing to do the drive, even though it was already 10, 11 at night. So we go down, we give them our information in the baggage claim. We're like, we would like to have our bags. And they said, okay, this could take up to 2 hours. So we're
Minimum.
2 hours minimum. Yeah. So we said, okay, we'll do that, get us our bags. So we and about, several hundred other people are there wanting to get our bags. And we sat 2 hours and bags just weren't coming out. Now we kind of later think, we were dumbfounded. Like, why isn't bag after bag coming out to be claimed?
Because once again, the reason why it was a ground
stop,
it was all because of weather. So that's all we knew of.
That's all we knew.
Weather related.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It turned out not to be weather at all. It was the global IT issue. With CrowdStrike. So we waited there 2 hours. We saw more things there. We saw mothers like with a baby they were both crying. The mother was crying, saying the formula was like in her check bag, and no one could get any bags. So at this point, after 2 hours, I'm like, wait a second, maybe we should go get the rental car first, then come back for the bag. So we go to the rental car, and there's like 4 or 5 different vendors, Avis, Hertz, Alamo, everybody. We went to every single window. No car, no car, no car. There were no rentals. That was the moment where like the cruise is lost.
It wasn't.
That was the moment.
It wasn't that the cruise was lost. It was we're now stranded.
Oh, and that's to make matters worse. So we're now, there's no rental cars. There's no flights. We checked for flights. We checked other carrier flights. There was still like ground stop issues. There were no flights. Nothing was happening in Charlotte Thursday night. So we went back to hope our bag was maybe out now for grabbing. It was not. Nothing was happening. That was just chaos down there. We'll have a little clip we'll show you in a little bit. So finally I had the idea. I'm like, okay, the cruise is lost. We're like about ready to keel over. We're tired. Let's just try to get a hotel then. So we go outside and I'm able to get on the Hilton site and I book a hotel, which I thought was too easy. And it's because, it was like now 1 a.m. So I was able to choose today's date, which was the 19th. Well, if you book for the 19th, it's really the 19th at 3 p.m. the next day, not tonight. So we thought we had a hotel. We took an Uber, like $38 to the hotel. We get there. She's like, we're full. I said, well, I made a reservation. She's like, did you pick the 18th? I was like, it might have been the 19th.
It's like it's 1 a.m. We haven't
1 a.m.
We can't think.
No food. Oh, yeah. We forgot to say at the airport, we did go try to get dinner. And they said, because it was like 11 a.m., they were out of food. They quit serving food. So we had 2 peanut butter and jellies out of a vending machine, which were very hard to eat. So we get to the hotel and no rooms there. So Andrew gets on the phone with I think it was Homewood Suites by Hilton, talking to the lady, and she says to her, now this is for tonight, right? Tonight, yes, the 18th. Do you have any rooms? And she said, yes, we have 3 left for tonight, the 18th. So Andrew gives credit card information. We get that room. Pardon me. We get another Uber to this hotel, and then we get there. And the lady's like, I can't check you in. Our computers are down due to the global IT problem. I can't give you a key card. I can't check you in. I can't do anything. And I said, well, we reserved the room and there was nothing she could do. So at this point, we're sitting on a couch. It's like 3 a.m. and we really feel like we're stranded in Charlotte, and that, not only can we not cruise, but we also feel there's no way to get home to St. Louis. We're stuck in Charlotte, no hotel, no car, no food. It was it was the worst experience ever. But so finally, we had one stroke of luck. It's coming up, but yeah. So it's now 4 a.m. We're at a hotel, no rooms, second try, and I'm ready to book. I'm trying to book like a Southwest airline, and I see one in 9 a.m. the next morning, connection in Baltimore, and it's $700 something. I very nearly hit book and complete, but then just for the heck of it, I went to American Airlines.
Yes.
And I put in our itinerary. It's like, okay, Charlotte to St. Louis. We're ready to go home. We want to go home. And it's like somehow there was a flight 7:50 a.m. and it ended up having like a standby list of 8-10 people. There were like 3-4 seats available. I paid extra to pick seat 1, seat 2. Paid extra, booked it. It let me book it. And then like several minutes later, I got a confirmation email. Here's your boarding pass. I'm like, oh, could this be? Could this be? So we get our third Uber of the night, and we've never slept. It's 4 a.m. We go back to the airport because it's 7:50 a.m. flight. So do the math, 5:50 a.m. We just went there. Went back to the airport. The security line's crazy. We have footage of that. I'll show you that. And then we get to the gate, and then the gate says St. Louis, 11:40 a.m. We're like, what? It's
Different.
5 a.m. We're gonna have to wait till 11.
Yeah, different flight number.
Yeah, it was the wrong flight number. It was off by 2 numbers. I'm like, wait, that's not the right flight number. So it wasn't the right flight. They had us go to a different gate, and then there was the flight showing for 7:50 a.m. But there were tons of people all over the floor asleep, and it was
It
craziest thing I ever saw.
Sight we'd never seen before.
But so this is about the end of the story. We finally get there to the gate, and a couple hours later, after sitting there, people start to show. So ticketing, and then who's flight crew, and we're like, oh my god, flight crew.
Started showing.
But there's still a ground stop. We've heard no engines, no jets, no nothing. Then all of a sudden you start to hear a jet here or there, like maybe 1 or 2. And then at 7 something a.m., the lady gets on saying, we have 2 different flights out of the same gate. So if you're from Denver, hang loose. I know you're at this gate too. There's computer issues. She's like, we're going to try to get the St. Louis one first. I'm like,
Yeah.
So when she said they're trying to get I'm sorry, I'm about to lose it. She's saying when we're going to do the St. Louis one first, we're like, oh my God, please. Yeah. We just want to go home.
Yeah.
So we boarded, and then lo and behold, we're like one of the first 5 planes to take off after the ground stop is lifted. And we got home. Great smooth flight, quick flight, direct to St. Louis. And then the first thing we did after getting in our car was we went to Waffle House because we were starving.
And we ate.
So that's my story. I had to get through the whole thing, but here, let me just show you what the airport was like. A little bit of footage here. This is where we were waiting to claim our bag. This is outside. All the people for an Uber.
People were waiting for Uber.
It was insane. This is us at the hotel, like it's almost 5, and then we got to book that 7:50 a.m. flight. So that was crazy. Here's the line into check-in the next morning. I mean, still the same night for us.
News crews
check-in was crazy. Yep, people sleeping on the floor. So many people had their trips ruined, and kids traveling that were unhappy, pets that were ready to go, like they were being carried and unhappy. It's like, oh, look at all the people on the floor.
Yeah, so it was just.
Sorry, real quick. This is this is our luggage. So yes, our luggage is still not with us. Here's like the track of our luggage. It finally left Orlando and started to go on the move after sitting there 2 days. So now it's in Dallas, Fort Worth. So Next stop is probably St. Louis. So we should get our luggage soon, knock on wood. So Andrea, that's the whole story.
Yeah. So basically, we just wanted like people to know that it wasn't like sympathy or oh boo-hoo, we missed our cruise, because there was a ton of people. Like we heard people, missed their Alaskan trips, people missing trips to like Jamaica, Aruba, Disney, like everybody.
Yeah.
And we did learn with Utopia, the
200 couples.
Yeah, they waited over an hour before sail away, but the problem was a lot of people were stuck in states outside of Orlando. So there was nothing the captain could do. Is that right, captain? My gosh, what? Yeah, captain.
Captain of the plane.
Yeah.
Or no, captain of the ship.
Captain of the ship can do, because they gotta pay money the longer they stay in a port than they could. So like there was nothing they could do, and so I don't know. It was just a crazy scene.
It was, the mother of all S shows.
Yeah.
So it was.
So it wasn't about like, and then it just kind of turned into like, oh my gosh, all these people. But we've been a nice amount of people that we were all just kind of like, oh, we're trying to make the best of it as we can. There were solo travelers of like all ages, and so we were just glad that at least the two of us were together. And like a huge, I don't know if she's on here anymore, but a huge shout out to my sister and Ken, my brother-in-law, who they were up.
Shh, that's our dog.
They were up till midnight. They were up till midnight trying to help us find a flight anywhere, a rental car anywhere. And so we didn't miss our trip for anything that we didn't do or try. Like it was crazy. So
she's going in and out of the picture.
So that's what happened. And a lot of people that we ran into feel like, oh, why didn't you vlog this? Well, it didn't seem like it was real, like everything that was happening. And we didn't feel that it would be right to like show all these people in like misery and like, it's crazy.
It's really hard to vlog in the heat of the moment. This is the most footage we have.
Yeah.
And I have several clips here.
I tried to be very discreet but I just wanted to show the amount of people, and people were starting to get like very animated, boisterous, and like tempers were flaring. So it was actually getting scary that we didn't know what was going to happen. Like security in the airport was like nowhere. It was like all staff in the airport just left, and it was just passengers. But then finally, about 5-6 a.m., we were finally seeing like on the news and stuff that there was this huge global outage. So we finally understood. So I don't know if the airline just used weather so people wouldn't panic, or if they didn't know, so the only thing they could say is weather. But
yeah, they used weather Thursday night up until Friday morning about 5 a.m. Then it started to be, global IT outage, Crowdstrike, software update. Yeah. So, but that's what, So, we tried, we definitely were willing to put in the 7-hour drive to Florida, but we couldn't do it. We did hear a great idea after the fact, no rentals. We could have maybe rented a U-Haul, but they would have to be open at 1 a.m.
Yeah, it would have to be.
We don't know if that would
24/7.
happen. But that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, but yeah.
We'll just say hello to everybody. Angie, MK Productions.
They can hear us.
Hear us. All right, we are here.
We just had to blurt and get everything out.
We did. I want to get out the whole story. Maybe, people could always hear the story again on a replay. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Yeah.
Let's see. Have my glasses on?
Hey, Rich.
Hey, Rich.
Wasn't the Windows blue screen area? We heard at work many were affected, even airlines. Well, we do know.
Banks.
Like at Hilton, the lady that couldn't check us in, she was saying her system was just down. I don't think she said she had a blue screen. She was just saying it's totally down.
Yeah, and through the airport, they just kept shouting, "We have no computers. We cannot check anybody in." So it was.
Hey, destination phone. Hello.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I mean, the blessing was finding a flight back to St. Louis. Otherwise, I really thought we would have been stranded like in Charlotte for, maybe 1-2 days, no car, no hotel.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe by Friday we might have got a hotel.
So the nice thing is we got home quickly, but we did hear yesterday that there was still a lot of flights stranded. Like we had a flight booked for tomorrow for when we disembark the ship. Before, we're still getting emails and messages saying that that's canceled. So there's still a lot of flights. People could still be stranded, and it's.
Yeah, I would say if you're on Utopia now, we just got a cancellation for our Monday morning flight that was supposed to be at 11:30 a.m. It says your flight has been canceled. So I think if you're on ship,
to have a little bit of patience because
getting
you're
home.
Probably not going to make your flight.
Yeah, if you fly out Monday, there's still some issues with flights being bumped and canceled. So we shall see.
Yeah, let's see.
And no, they did not refund us.
I know, and it was Angie's birthday yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, she was trying to help us find
a car on her birthday. Happy birthday!
Everybody, give a happy birthday. Hi, Laura. Yeah.
She's better now.
Okay, what do we got here? Hi, guys. So you guys lived in.
So we do have a home in Florida. We had been down there like maybe 4 months out of the year or so. This time, we, due to work issues, PTO issues, I was back in St. Louis. So this one we were going to fly out, but in the future, I'm telling you, if we could drive, if there's an option to drive, we're going to drive to a cruise. And for sure, no more connecting flights. If it's not connecting, I'll probably go away from my usual carrier, American Airlines, which doesn't have direct to Orlando, and I'll probably find someplace with direct. Because if we would have had a direct flight, I think we would have made the cruise.
Yeah, but we tried every option. We even tried looking up like Amtrak, like you name it.
Yeah.
We tried it.
Yeah, one of the couple of the Uber drivers said they would have drove us to Port Canaveral had they not had a prior engagement. They would have did it.
Let's see. Hi all, you're safe. Yes, don't feel too bad. Good. Were you also affected by the global outage, or did you? So you just currently missed your cruise now?
And it was the same cruise, Utopia. Let us know. We'll look for another comment.
I will.
Oh yes, hit the thumbs up, everybody.
Yes,
that'll help YouTube suggest this video.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great idea. How many thumbs up do we have? Well, or can anyone tell us?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to tell on here. So, but
all right. Well, we're caught up on comments. If you have any other questions, let us know.
Yeah.
We just kind of wanted to get online and tell you our story. It's this is the worst travel experience I've ever had, and would never want to repeat any of it. I mean, in Charlotte, things could have went south really quick. Like at that baggage claim, when people were saying, okay, you may wait for your bag for 4 hours, and people are waiting for formula.
People were like pushing through security to look at bags, and they didn't have enough people. It was.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Did your airline give you any?
So I did spend a lot of time on the phone with American Airlines. I used miles for one leg of the trip. The other, the leg home was through Expedia and just cash or credit. I did get all my miles back and then some. So I was down to hardly any miles. So now I have quite a lot. So they gave all miles back and then some. And they said as far as
So the
any other
flight,
expenses to like submit a claim
yeah, so the flight, I had booked our flight home through
tomorrow.
Expedia on my travel agent site, and I just chose the cheapest one, so it was non-refundable. So there was no way we can get credit, refund, but little flaw in the system, the
Canceled.
airline canceled our flight. So we are going to get a full refund from American Airlines due to the airline canceling our flight.
Yeah, here's what the update for today. We just got this. Oops, that was really quick. Yeah, we just got this today. Your flight CLT has been rescheduled, and then you now can request a refund. So this is the update today. Let me try this again. The first one was really quick. Yeah, I got this message. We rebooked your trip. See, this is what, I don't know if every airline is doing this, but to automatically rebook you for a flight is like, I don't agree with that at all. Like the one that cost us our cruise was when they gave our seats away and said, you've been rebooked to a Friday flight at 5 p.m., which would not work.
Yeah,
I mean, how can they do that? Can't they just give you?
Yeah. So previously,
there needs to be a deny, or a no refuse.
So previously, when people want to get on a flight that is full, they go on standby, and when the plane is loading, they announce the passengers, and you get a certain amount of time. And if you don't show at that time, standby gets to go. So I don't know why this was any different to cancel us ahead of time. We don't have that answer. We don't know why.
And the crazy thing is, so all flights in Charlotte were delayed by 5-6 hours, and they rescheduled and bumped us, saying we wouldn't make the connecting flight. Well, none of the connecting flights were on time.
So, yeah.
And as it turns out, we would have made the connecting flight. We were at the gate. The plane was at the gate. It was still an hour away from leaving. We would have made that flight.
Yeah,
but they bumped us.
So. Well, we're looking forward to it, but not too soon. We gotta let this experience.
And we're driving to that port.
Yes, we're driving.
That's in January, by the way.
Okay, wonder why the crew left at the airport in normal. So we're guessing is because nobody truly knew what was happening, and they had nothing to say. They couldn't answer a question. They couldn't do anything, but I don't know why they didn't have security. Like, legit, there was no security. Yeah, so it could have gotten really ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where we are.
Yep, for sure.
For today, there's a lot of, yes. So I think the reason we got lucky to get our flight home is because a lot of people thought what I mentioned to Andy at like 4 a.m. on July 19th is we just need to find a flight anywhere to hope to maybe rent a car and go. So I think a lot of people just booked a flight to get out of the airport. And then once they found flights that actually matched what they wanted, they canceled, and we just happened to get the one we wanted by luck.
The only other possibility is the flight we scored was back to St. Louis, nowhere near any type of vacation. Yeah. Well, unless you're going to St. Louis for vacation. But that could be why as well. I mean, that would have taken us farther away from any vacation areas like airports or whatever. So and like maybe that's why there were seats available, but only a few.
Yeah, we haven't seen like any news on what happened. We haven't seen any clips because I don't want to. I lived it. I don't want to see it. So we don't exactly know like how many flights are still being affected with this, or are there any rentals out of Charlotte or Miami, wherever?
Yeah, so. I don't know why they didn't have any rental cars. That would have saved us. Now, of course, we wouldn't have had our bag, but we could have easily made the drive,
Walmart
go to Walmart,
or
like buy
a few
wherever. Shirts or something. We would have did it.
Yeah. Well, that's a quicker drive than us, but we will be fine with that. But
yeah, so our cruise we're talking about here in January is out of Galveston.
Galveston on the Harmony of the Seas.
Harmony of the Seas, and that's coming January. This one for sure, we're going to drive from St. Louis. We'll make sure we're in St. Louis and not Florida. Drive St. Louis there, which is like 8-9 hour drive.
We were
That's
planning
fine.
on driving anyway, but any doubt to want to fly, this cured us of doing so.
Plus, this little girl could then stay with Angie and Bobby.
So we just wanted to give you a quick little update. We don't want to keep you all for anything. So if there's any other questions or anything else you want to add, we are always open to reply to comments or anything. So
So if you comment on this video after it's already posted, we always reply to comments. So feel free. And if you're on Utopia now, I really hope everyone has had a good time and that you can get home safely if you have flights booked tomorrow. That they don't cancel and that everything goes well. Because as I said, our Monday flight canceled. So we don't want it anyway. We're here in St. Louis.
Yeah, we will have to do a live called the check bag. That's something.
So that's it. That's the last thing. Our checked bag is currently in Dallas, Fort Worth. So hopefully it'll make its way to St. Louis and then we'll get our bag back.
But as for tonight, thanks for joining in on this quick little pop-up live, and we just wanted to explain, and we thought it'd be more fun doing it in a live instead of just doing a video.
Instead of a video. This was better, I think. But give us a thumbs up for the video. Share if you want to share it, or let people know.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
It's a bummer, but honestly, we're just happy right now to be home, and we got the sleep.
After what we went through in Charlotte, we were so happy to get back to St. Louis and back to. After Waffle House, we went to bed. Because we had been up all night. Us too. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're really bummed because we know a lot of other people missed it, and then it's just crazy. Right before we left, we had saw a video dropped by EECC saying, they missed the cruise, and in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, that's awful. Well, here we are. So
she showed it to me, and then we keep thinking that the minute we knew it was lost, and that had to be at the rental cars when there were no cars. We're like, yep. And then it's like, can we find a place to stay? How do we get back to St. Louis?
Thanks, MK.
Hey.
Right, but do we got one more where he's downstairs sleeping, hiding?
Whoa, if you don't know, we have two Mintons. So the other one, Luke, is downstairs and he's asleep.
But I don't really have anything else to say. Do you have anything else to say? I kind of just wanted to put it all behind us and just, we can laugh at it now because we're home. No, we're laughing about it now. It's so ridiculous so they're not going to lie, there was some tears, not because of a missed cruise, but just the situation and, I guess that's first world problems that you have one day. You got stuck somewhere. So
we've been on quite a few cruises. But, are we rescheduling? No, we have no plans to reschedule at this moment.
So right now the only cruise we have right now in the plans is in September. We do have the Carnival Paradise booked, and then we do have the Harmony of the Seas in January. We are actually heading back to Florida in August. So anybody in the Florida area, hit us up if you want to do any meetups or any, gatherings in Florida, Disney, Universal. Hey, we're right here. Let us know.
Carnival Paradise, though, that is September, and that'll be our oldest ship, Carnival ship that we've ever been on. But the cool thing, we do have a front cabin that has a floor-to-ceiling window, so we're kind of excited about that. And to see an old girl ship. We'll show you that.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and don't forget.
See you there, Mike.
give us a thumbs up. You know, share the video if you want, if anybody, you know, is interested to what it's like.
See what happens
living
when you
through
miss your cruise. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. Well, we will see you on our next
Very soon.
adventure and see you next time.
Yep. See you, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.
Slay.
Oh, live in Tampa. Oh, cool. All right.
Awesome.
See you at Disney, maybe, if you're a Disney goer. Bye, everyone.